So for anyone who saw my Forest Park video, this is somewhat of a continuation, but it's not going to be in Forest Park. It's exiting Forest Park. They have Google Maps up on my phone to try to go to a place to eat. It says it's going to be a 25-minute bike ride. So we'll see if I can navigate this correctly. And let me see if this is the first time I'm trying to not only have the phone on there but charging at the same time with the cable. So let's see, do I have tilt locked mode on? There we go. And we're beginning. Quarter mile, so I have the volume up on the navigation too so I can hear it. Quarter mile, turn left on Clayton Avenue. For reference, today is Tuesday, February 28th, 2023. It's about 2:40 p.m. Central Time in St. Louis, Missouri. Just spent the past couple hours touring first the area of Central West End. Let me see here. It looks like we still go straight. Yeah, first Central West End, and then I went all around Forest Park. So feel free to check out that video. I ate breakfast around 9:30.
Turn left onto Clayton Avenue.
So that's why I'm trying to get something to eat. I'm actually picking a place that my brother back in Cleveland has been trying to get me to go to. White Knight Diner. Just like a simple American
Continue on Clayton Avenue for 3/4 of a mile.
Cuisine, sandwich, fries, breakfast, diner type of place, but it looks cool. Thank you. I decided to get up and walk for a little bit because I saw this was going to be uphill. Again, it's nothing that I couldn't do, but I've been slowly riding around Forest Park and Central West End for several hours. Rather than burn myself out a little bit, just walk here. Gives me more time to look around too. Big building on the left called Barnes Jewish Hospital. They have this decorative green fencing on the left too. we're relatively close to the Grove as well, where I did a video the other day. Unfortunately, two of the places that I was trying to go to that day, the Pie Guy's Pizza isn't open on Tuesday, and then Vincent Van Donut's already closed. But both of those options are candidates that I could consider before I have to depart back to Cleveland on Wednesday. Okay, we're on flat ground now, so that makes it easier to ride. This is the intersection of Clayton Avenue and Taylor Avenue. And I would assume that we're still in the central West End area. Good timing there. Shriners Hospital for Children. I wonder if they have multiple facilities, because we like to watch old episodes of like Frasier and several of these other shows like Three's Company, and like all the time on those sub channels like public television they mention Shriners Hospital. I don't know if that's like they have facilities all over the place, or if it's maybe there's a main one here in St. Louis, because I haven't seen that anywhere else I've been. Yeah, so it says Tampa Bay is their headquarters for Shriners. So I assume it's just one of their multiple locations.
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto South Boyle Avenue.
So 1,000 feet, it says turn left on South Boyle Avenue. Here's Tower Grove Avenue, so a little bit to our right probably is the Cortex train station, where I got off the other day and then did my video in Tower Grove. I had to walk about 10, maybe 10 blocks or so. One of the reasons I also love biking a city, for as confused as I may have been at, trying to navigate Forest Park at first, there's no better matching, in my opinion, than like riding a bike, because walking, from place to place can take, you can,
Left onto South Boyle Avenue.
here's South Boyle here. Walking can get you there, but it takes so long that it can be like a bit draining.
Wait.
It says walk sign is on the cross Boyle, but I don't see it. Actually, this is the road I took to get to the Cortex station. So I was here the other day, and the Cortex train station is going to be to our left over there. Tower Grove was the road I eventually took to go near the Missouri Botanical Gardens before I went to the hill. But yeah, what I was going to say was I love biking from place to place because you get to move at a decent speed, but you still are able to digest what you're seeing. Take your time. You get to look left and right, absorb everything, and then connect the dots. Like before, I was thinking, okay, I don't quite know how to get from Cortex to Central West End or the Hill, but I've been to all those neighborhoods, and I sort of have a grasp on where they are in relation to the downtown area. So now I feel like if I didn't have Google Maps, I would have a pretty decent sense of how to get from one neighborhood to the other. That's not to say could get from, an exact store and know exactly what streets to take, but I would know what general direction to head toward. Continue on South Boyle for half a mile, it says. So here is the Metrolink Cortex station. And then over to our right, once I cross this track, I'll look that way. Yeah, so you just walk a little bit further that way to get to board the actual train. There's some company here, I don't know, it has the @ symbol, but then up ahead there's also Microsoft. So Microsoft has a presence here in St. Louis. Further on down there's an IKEA store. Still, I've never been in an IKEA, but when I pass one by, because I don't think we have them in Greater Cleveland, maybe it is in one of the suburbs and I'm just not familiar with it, but I've never been to one. It's a nice little pavilion here. Cortex Commons. Just my hunch is that this is
turn left toward South Boyle Avenue, then turn right.
That this is a recently developed area because the buildings just have that look and feel to them. Same thing with this plaza. There's an Aloft Hotels.
Turn left toward South Boyle Avenue, then turn right onto South Boyle Avenue.
And then further in the distance you can see where Central West End is.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Lindell Boulevard.
I see a wasabi sushi bar tucked in by the hotel. Alright, let me get back to the path. I want to make sure I get to this White Knight Diner before they close, because it said 4:15 was the closing time. It's 2:54, so I should have plenty of time, but the more time I take yakking, less time I'll have to eat or do other things. What is this big road? Oh, this is Forest Park Avenue we're back on now. Very wide road. Even though it was fun exploring Forest Park earlier, just me and when I like to craft the videos and thinking back, I know I probably sounded like a chicken with its head cut off trying to narrate the whole thing. So my guess is it probably didn't make for the most compelling video for a viewer to watch. I was using the bike to be able to cover more ground quicker, but in terms of like making content, I prefer doing something like I'm doing now. Like I'm at Forest Park to begin with, and then I'm leaving and I'm navigating through the neighborhoods. I've got the map easily accessible, and there's a clear target that we're trying to reach. Here's West Pine Boulevard. Thank you. Lindell Boulevard is where we're supposed to turn right, which I think is at the light up here.
Turn right onto Lindell Boulevard.
Lindell Boulevard is what Google Maps said, instead of Lindell like I was pronouncing.
Continue on Lindell Boulevard for 1 mile.
1.2 miles. There's a Walgreens on the right. I only mention it because I haven't really been out in the neighborhoods enough to see Walgreens or CVS. I think that's the first department drugstore that I've come across. I also haven't been anywhere that's looked at like big shopping plazas. Oh, and speak of the devil, across the street there's a grocery store, and then I know you can't see it, but there's a CVS. I see a Five Guys, a Pizza Hut. So yes, that's like the first non-local shopping plaza I've come across, meaning national stores and restaurants. There is a shopping mall. I don't know if I'll go out that way. There's a Trader Joe's out there. Traditionally, anytime I visit a city, I try to visit a Trader Joe's because I like the artwork they have inside, but usually that's at the beginning of the trip because I will pick up a few snacks to eat during the trip. Like I'll bring them back to my hotel. I'll have a couple sandwiches that I'll stock up on, and maybe on a bike ride like this I would have taken it with me. But now it's like I'm already at the tail end of my St. Louis journey, so I don't know if I'll actually go out to the Trader Joe's. favorite food store or fast food place of all, Arby's, and a McDonald's. I swear, I'm not joking with you guys. I haven't come across any McDonald's. Maybe I did see one somewhere. Where was I the other day when I saw McDonald's? I don't know. I can't recall. But there's McDonald's. Geez, I see another CVS up ahead. There was just one in that plaza back there. Maybe that sign was old and they moved. Yeah, but like look on the left how those are, in my estimation, newer type of places. Like I doubt that type of building's been here for the past 20 years or so. Firehouse Subs, Metro, PCS. I'd venture to guess if I looked at Google Maps and went to Street View that it wouldn't have been there on the earliest capture. Oh, and here's a Domino's Pizza. Oh, well, Domino's is definitely my favorite national pizza place. And look, they're still offering a $300 sign-on bonus. I'll have to keep note of this Domino's. Maybe I didn't bring anything to carry food with. Are they open? I don't know if they're open. Gotta remember to press these buttons when I reach these intersections so I can trigger the walk sign. Crazy bowls and wraps. I was talking to the guy who I rented the bike from earlier. Who was working at the store. You know, he's answering some of my questions about possible places to ride. But somehow restaurants came up and he mentioned how, like, because the rent is relatively cheap in St. Louis to open up a new place, you find like a lot of young aspiring chefs are starting out or moving down here, and that's why there's so many different food options. But these are some like massive buildings on the left here. Like I had no clue what this street was ahead of time. I know the signs up above say St. Louis University. Oh, I don't know if that's part of the campus. I mean, I see St. Louis University on the right. Like, is that student housing on the left? The Coronado, that's what that big building is on the left, and then further up ahead is an architect something. Yeah, I guess this is St. Louis University on this end. And we're staring down the pipe at it. I probably won't come by here again, so I better grab a photo. Yeah. So I don't have time to go throughout the campus, but it's still nice to pass by it. And again, speaking to what I was talking about earlier,
continue onto Olive Street.
it's nice to have that mental projection, like, oh yeah, I went from here to here, and that's where St. Louis University was. Just making sure I locked my phone into place. I couldn't remember. According to Google Maps, we can take one of two ways to get to the place I'm going. I can either just keep going down Lindell, or I can go down one block here and just like go down that street instead. I think I'll do that to mix it up because I want to capture a little bit of this. It says Grand Center Arts District. Oh, and I didn't see the button over here. Hopefully I still got it in time. Yes. Like right here, we've got Ellen Clark Sculpture Park at St. Louis University. Let me change the thing on my map. Let's see here. Actually, so the thing I wanted to go, well, first I can just tell you that there's an arts district going that way. But then stay on Lindell on this side for a little bit and then cut over.
1,000 feet, continue onto Olive Street.
Place called Vito's Sicilian Pizzeria and Restaurant. This is still St. Louis University on the right, by the way. It's more of like the athletic fields.
Continue on Olive Street for 1 mile.
Alright, so this is the detour that I wanted to take. 500 feet, we're going to turn left onto North Compton Avenue. Way up ahead, I can see the St. Louis Arch, the Gateway Arch.
Turn left onto North Compton Avenue, then turn right onto Locust Street.
Got a bump here. And you know what? Now, I know I keep changing my mind. Now that I look at it on Google Maps further, I think I'm just going to stay on Olive. The sidewalk conditions look smoother. Boy, this is really narrow if you're trying to get through here. I spoke too soon about criticizing sidewalk conditions on a different street. That one didn't even have a curb there to get down. We should only be 0.9 miles away from our destination of the White Knight Diner. Hopefully it's not like some of these other places in Denver where they close whenever they run out of food, so to speak. But this also gives you a shot of us making our way toward downtown St. Louis. There you go, that's what I like, being rewarded for pedaling uphill by going downhill now. I think we're actually really close to Union Station where I was last night, because I think this is a big thing up ahead is Citi Field. And after that Union Station video last night, I actually walked all the way back to the hotel. Wasn't scenic to walk at that time of night. It was like completely deserted around 9 p.m. And then there's some wanderers in some of the parks, so I was just trying to like even walk in the street at some spots. I was wondering if the St. Louis police vehicle was going to move back since he was way over the crosswalk. Yep, this is indeed the soccer stadium, soccer field. City, I think it's called City Field. I guess I can just go here because it's not a through street right now. City Park is what the soccer field is called. We should be about 2 blocks from this White Knight Diner now. Thank you. Thank you.
It's all good, bro.
There's a ladder out here, so I have to be cautious. There's spray painting. Let me pull out into the street. I don't know what this guy up ahead is doing. I think this is the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Station, based on the vehicles I see here.
In 600 feet, turn left onto North 18th Street.
So this is 19th ahead. We want to go one more block after that to 18th. Turning for 2 reasons. A, that guy just slowly doing that, and then B, I did see big construction at the corner of the next block, so I think I can cut through Locust. Locust was a street I considered going down earlier, so that'll definitely bring us out. And there's construction on this corner too. What the heck? Is the White Knight Diner even open? Maybe that's the question. There's fencing everywhere. Oh, that fencing there, I think, is across
Turn
the
right
street.
onto North 18th Street, then your destination will be on the right.
Oh, I see. It's a little tiny thing. Hamburgers, soft drinks, fries.
Your destination is on the right.
Closed? What? No. Why does it say closed? Monday through Friday, 6 to 1:30. That's not what Google says. Google said 4:30. Darn it, these hours of these places are just not accurate. And watch, that guy who was coming up earlier will probably be encountering him in a second. No, he's not here. Oh. Alright, well, I guess I can try to cross something off my list. Even though I had the one pizza slice at Ballpark Village that day, that was a Brooklyn style pizza. I still haven't tried St. Louis pizza, which has that Provel cheese. And even though I've heard like people who aren't from St. Louis think it's like, what the heck, this isn't pizza, I still wanted to try it myself. So I looked, and from the White Knight Diner, it says 2-minute bike ride going northbound, I guess. So we're gonna give Emo's Pizza a shot. They have a bunch of locations. I assume they're just a Missouri or St. Louis chain, but I think Emo's is known as the more common pizza place for St. Louis. City Museum public parking. That's another thing I want to try to hit tomorrow morning. Is the City Museum near here? Where the heck is City Museum? It should stick out like a sore thumb. Well, I will try to look that up after I've settled to get my pizza. Here's a neighborhood grocer, Fields Foods. I'm all discombobulated. I stopped following Google Maps once I was seeing the City Museum. Oh, there it is. All right, well, I guess I'll go here first. So we're only seeing a portion of this, but this is the Crazy City Museum. I mean, from a distance, like, look at this thing. Oh, actually, you can see the whole thing right there. You got these weird, like a school bus, a Ferris wheel, a big giant mantis, and then on the lower level, you've got like an airplane and just these crazy things. And you can climb and go inside, I think, pretty much all these things And then indoors, inside that factory looking thing, it's just a big, giant, like, kid or adult can go in it, and you have to pay a ticket, but it's a big, giant museum, but like interactive playground essentially. They aren't open today, and it's one of those things where, like, oh, I wanted to do it. I think they're open at 10 a.m. tomorrow, so I have to see if I'll have time to do that or not. Yeah, it's nice to see where it was located. This might be the back way. I don't know if, like, where the front is, but at least we're getting to see some of the exhibits. So maybe that unintended wrong direction paid off, right? So now let me get back on track to Emo's Pizza, 0.1 miles away on Del Mar Boulevard. According to Google Maps, this is also the headquarters of Emo's Pizza. So you've got Emo's Pizza headquarters on the building on our right, and then they have a location where you can actually eat up ahead. Pizza entrance. This is where the entrance is. Thank you. Alright, so I finally got to take the bike helmet off. I still have the bike right next to me, as well as the helmet and my stuff. But yeah, this is Emo's Pizza. I'm waiting for my order. I just put this at the edge of the table. They'll bring it out to me. As I said earlier, the headquarters are next door. And I ended up ordering a cheese pizza, 10-inch, and that's going to come with a side of fries. I got a drink, and then I also decided to order the baked lasagna. So I probably ordered too much food, but it might be one of those things where I can take it back when I'm done. All right, here's the Emo's Pizza with their Provel cheese. Got the fries. And then the lasagna looks like a more traditional. It's a meat lasagna, they said, or like kind of little meat sauce. I asked them about the cheese in this one. They said it's like half Provel and half mixture of like regular cheeses, and then a little bit of garlic bread and my drink. So yeah, looking forward to trying this out, especially what the Provel cheese looks like. Okay, gonna try the Provel cheese for the first time. See a little bit of a taste test here. 1 second. Let me finish this piece. So what's interesting to me is, I mean, yeah, I can taste that it's not like a normal pizza cheese that you would get somewhere else, but in the past I've often made, what do you call it? Some of those Pillsbury pizza crescent rolls, and then I've added like my own sprinkled cheese to it. And I feel like at times I've had the pizza taste like this. So to me, it's like a little bit reminiscent. I didn't taste this and think to myself like, "Oh God, what is this?" And to me, it was tasty. Like I feel like I want to keep eating more of it. So to me, I'd give it a pretty good review. Well, unfortunately, I've recorded so much today that there's only like 2.5 minutes left on my SD card for recording, so I'll have to end this particular video here. But it's a good spot to end it. Ended with a meal at Emo's. I tried the lasagna, and the flavor was okay. The only thing was it seemed like it was all meat or all sauce and cheese. Like there was very little noodle, and I didn't really taste any meat. So it just, it was a bit too much for that big of a size to let me, maybe you can see it's like all sauce and cheese. There's a little bit of noodles on the bottom layer, but way too much sauce and cheese. And then I took like 3 squares in aluminum foil that I'm going to bring back to the hotel room. But if you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we will see you next time.